This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on YouTube. Denver's backfield has been electric so far this season. Led by Bailey O'Shaughnessy and Ari Mills, the Nightwings average nearly 150 yards a game on the ground. How will they fare against the fearsome front seven of Vancouver, who seemingly live on opponent offense's side of the line of scrimmage? With both clubs at 2-2, who will get back to above 500? Nightwings, Legion, next. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Falk with Bismarck Wright and Top Kiefer on stats and SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine producing. I am joined by my broadcast partner, Cameron Duty, here in the booth. Cam, the B team's in. We're replacing Brandon and Chad, but we're still in for a great call.
That's exactly right. It is so good to be here unexpectedly, but excited because of this game that we have tonight. We talked about both of these teams in the pregame meeting. Two different directions at the moment for both these teams. Denver looking for the first two-game winning streak of the season. Vancouver hoping to stop a two-game losing skid. We'll see what happens. A lot to unpack, and I'm excited to be here with you tonight, Tyler.
From the Delta Dome in Vancouver, Week 6. About to get underway for these two clubs as here we go from Canada. The opening kickoff will just sail out of the back of the end zone, and so on comes the field the Denver Nightwings signal caller, Gene Struthers, who has, for 10 straight games at this point, partner, only has had one or fewer touchdown passes thrown in 10 straight games, hoping that his number 10 is the only number he's got to worry about tonight.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I think we could see a good game from him tonight, potentially. Passing game could be a big factor in this one.
They will start on the ground. As we alluded to earlier, Bailey O'Shaughnessy gets the game's first carry. Goes for no yards as he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Let's meet the rest of the Nightwings offense, shall we? We just talked about Bailey O'Shaughnessy. He partners alongside Ace Ketchum at halfback, and the aforementioned fullback, Ari Mills, is in front of him. Logan Keel, Jeremy Mosley, Dylan Lewis, Dalton Barker are the wideouts with Chris Altair and Keith Wheeler at wide receiver. A flag comes in as tackle Smokey Barr leads the line of the trenches, and it's an early flag, and it's a pass interference on the Vancouver secondary.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I believe that you can see on the replay here it's going to be simply that the defender impeded the route, and there you can see a good camera angle there to show exactly what happened. So quickly, a laundry on the field, and 1st and 10 again.
Zach Lay gets flagged for the PI, and that'll bring up a fresh set of downs here for Denver early on in this contest. Now from in between the 26 and 25-yard lines on their own side of the field. Quick hitter. It hits off the back plate of his intended target, that being Jeremy Mosley. And let's introduce you to that Legion defense. That front seven is no joke. Achilles Papatonis, Bobo Caudill, Lindsey Theismann, Gerald Giudice, and Michael Rulli are all on the line, with Marquise Reed, DJ Woods, and Josh Farnsey at linebacker. Manuel Blackman leads the SFL and picks with 4, with Zach Lay, Michael Lister, and Will Stern all at cornerback. Drew Hamilton, JJ Winfield, and Mark Lopez round out the roster at safety. Second down play call is also a pass play, and Struthers runs right into the defender. Nothing he could do about it. Down he goes, Bobo Caudill with the sack.
Yeah, Bobo Caudill, his first season with the team, a pickup from the San Diego Mavericks, and they love this guy. Take a look at that. Again, really good off the line. A veteran in this game. Critiques on those spin moves, I mean, let's just be honest. He's one of the best at that with that experience. A good job of getting to the quarterback. He could make a long day for Struthers.
5th sack of the season. Came in already third in the SFL, and Struthers going to tuck it and run. And he fumbles as he dives for it, and they will retain possession nearly. Oh, my goodness.
Well, you talk about all the different scenarios that pop up during prep week and what kind of situations you may be faced with. I don't believe this went or could have even been predicted by this Denver team. The sack and then the fumble, just a tough, abysmal way to start the game. But the good thing is they did get the ball back, so they can punt it away here.
Chris Bobber, the center, was the man to fall onto it, and now here comes the Legion on the return. It's a fantastic return Back to midfield for Zoro Lunar, second season wide receiver. And that will bring out the Vancouver offense led by Christian Brown, who had a 1 TD last week, and it's now back-to-back games, unfortunately for him, below 500, seemingly cooled off from his pretty hot start early in the season, partner.
Yeah, indeed. That's something that, when you are on a skid like that, you try to block it out of your mental psyche, and you just try to look at the game ahead, try to get things on the right track. This, of course, no better time like the present to do it. We'll see how he fares in today's game.
Offset eye behind Brown here on first down. Outside rush coming as he looks for a one-on grab. Brett Killian just looks behind him and finds the football.
It's beauty. That's a thing of beauty right there. And great concentration as well. A nice route. And look at that. He could tell that it's going to be behind him just a little bit, but give him props. Good awareness to get that big hand out there and reel it in. What more can you say? But that's just pure grit and determination to come up with a big play for your team.
Second play of the drive is a run up the middle for Sudo Nakai, coming over from another San Diego transplant in the offseason. Let's meet the rest of Nakai's offensive friends. Robert Redford partners up along Nakai in the backfield alongside Mateo Pravado at fullback. Wide receivers are Brett Killian, Nick Lockett, Kendrell, Zora Lunar, and Chris Sunseri alongside Sawyer Stern as the backup fullback. Stephen McMichaels and Cables McGill are the tight ends with a full slate of linemen: Bunter Graham, Mike Coverson, Ryan Caudill, and Gregory Winnell. Brown near, and it does have it picked off, and this one will be taken all the way back by Stuart Gotts. Christian Brown giving chase on the outside. Here comes Kendra Wells, and she will drag him down at the 1.
Well, Stuart Gotts, he guts it all right. I mean, what a great job. Great focus after that ball was tipped and in the air. Of course, he even had the deflection himself. And take a look at this. Just continues to stay with it, bobbles it, and turns right around and starts downfield. And like you said, Kendra Wells doing a good job to bring him down from behind. But a great job by Gotts. As you can see, his second interception of his career. Probably the most memorable. And that really can turn the tide right here, Tyler.
Third interception on the season for Gotts. Already was in the top 10 of interceptions in the SFL. Adds another one, and now Denver right on the doorstep, right on the welcome mat, if you will. First down, first and goal, first play of the drive. It's an easy handoff to Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Touchdown, Denver.
In that particular series, obviously the defense was your best offense. And isn't that amazing how a well-timed turnover can change the complexity of the football game? We've seen how Denver was playing on that first series, completely sloppy and just out of rhythm. You get the big interception return, set you right up on the goal line. The momentum, the energy just kicks in, the adrenaline pumps in, and now Denver is potentially up by 7.
Third rushing touchdown for Bailey O'Shaughnessy this season. Continues his excellent work as the extra point from Neil Rackers is up and good. And it's 7-0 Denver. If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. Here comes another opportunity for Vancouver's return man, Zoro Lerner, to get back up to the 33-yard line. Another solid return from Lunar as Denver's offense will take the field for the third time today. And Vancouver's offense will take the field for only the second time today. And it's been, first drive, not the best partner, but a chance to remediate that here on drive number 2.
Indeed, if you are quarterback Christian Brown, 7 interceptions coming in. You've already got 1 on the day. The best thing you can do is come out here, focus on all your marks, just read your routes effectively, protect that football, and get some positive yardage here to make things a little bit better for yourself.
5 of those interceptions coming just a couple of weeks ago against Canton, so just a bit of an outlier. Really not
There you
that
go.
inaccurate a pass as Kendra Wells sneaks behind the defender all the way to Denver's 35-yard line. That is what she can do.
Well, you talk about shaking a bad play off and just trying to move forward from a tough situation. And that's one way to do it. Go to one of your, certified big playmakers in Kendra Wells. And again, let's give a call to Wells right there on the fighting with the defender on the outside there, kind of shaking him off and getting open for a big gain. That was huge.
Brown now have 2 of 3, and a blitz from the outside coming. He doesn't see it. Stefan Forge comes off the edge. His 6th TFL now leads the team, and that's his first sack on the season.
These linebackers are wreaking havoc on Brown so far today. You had Gotts, who had the interception previously, and now Stefan Forge. And they're just getting great penetration right now and really making Brown look unsettled and very nervous back there in the pocket.
5th career sack for Forge, and that sets Vancouver back 4 yards. I formation now here for the Legion, and Brown will go back to pass again. Now has a lot better time, and now looking over the middle, and that one's also picked off. Xavier Rowe the third, and it's another decent return back to his own 28-yard line as Christian Brown is unable to connect back-to-back passes.
Yeah, that time there was a much better pocket to throw from, but I think at this point, Christian Brown is rattled, to say the least. And I think at that point, maybe overthinking a little bit, trying to squeeze the football into a tight window there. And those are things you just can't do, but that is a byproduct of some tough breaks early in this game, and you can tell Denver really getting to Brown and that offensive front early.
And just early on this game, it looks more and more like that Canton game where Brown was just so unsettled. The defensive coverage by Canton was so good, and now Denver, their youth and hunger showing up early, and that pass the outside intended for Mosley. It was incomplete, hit as the ball was arriving.
So interesting. We go back to the interception returned by Gotts that really has changed the complexity of this game, the complexion of it, up by 7 early on. But you can see this Denver offense, we still haven't been able to see if they've been able to find an identity in themselves in this game. Had it not been for the goal line play there, who knows?
2nd and 10 with 2 tight ends. They run to the opposite side of those tight ends, and the run by Ari Mills goes for a good gain of about 6.
And that's the good thing that Denver certainly has on their side. They have some experienced players in the backfield with Bailey O'Shaughnessy, of course, and R.E. Mills, and you've got the rookie Ace Ketchum, the first pick in the draft. So a lot of good talent back there. Expect them to utilize that. Should open up the passing game, too.
Opposite eye behind Struthers now as he's looking to throw, rolling and firing for the corner. He's got a man out there. Logan Keel found some separation, and Struthers found him for the first down.
Yeah, 10 years with this team, a former All-Star and someone who has been here, and again, someone that everybody looks to, in my opinion, on this offensive unit as an anchor, and always coming up with big plays when Struthers needs him the most. Great job.
Logan Keel, a season 18 All-Star, looking to make another appearance in the All-Star game, if not a championship game, sometime soon. Approaching the halfway mark now of this first quarter. Denver find themselves on Vancouver's 47-yard line, and a little bit of trouble from Ace Ketchum. Finds himself going down in the backfield, a loss of 1. There's that front 7 for Vancouver we were hyping up before the game.
Yeah, they're mean and they are hungry. And, Ketchum there, not sure if he had difficulty getting around the block or maybe difficulty trying to reel that football in on the handoff, but it just wasn't there, and they swallowed him up.
Struthers will look to throw, looking outside, caught is Mosley. He backtracks, and so it will not be forward progress. And so he's down after only gaining 3 yards.
Yeah, and a big third down. We talk about Denver wanting to establish this offense, and as I said, they've got 7 points, but we have yet to see them really make a big play to keep a drive extended. They're going to have to show that they can do that tonight.
Time look. Struthers looking and nearly finding the hands of Zach Lay, who had the PI on the opening drive, but this time comes up with a much-needed deflection to send out the punting unit for Denver.
Just a nice job of reading and reacting there by Zach Lay. Just watching, still following the receiver perfectly on that route and watching for the football, making a nice time deflection.
And the punt is away from Toby Goin. Their catch is called for by Lunar at his own 15-yard line. He hauls that in without any trouble.
So I think it's going to be really interesting here, Tyler, to see, as we said, Christian Brown, someone who's very resilient. We do know that. A couple of turnovers early in this game, but he can turn it around. Plenty of time to do that. An interesting thing to note of Robert Redford, yet to have a touchdown on this young season. I think they need to get him more involved if possible.
Lunar, the man in motion from high side to near side. As Christian Brown comes out with a split backfield, looking to erase the 2 interceptions he's already thrown on back-to-back opening drives, and the run from Redford going for no gain, maybe a yard of 1.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding at times for these halfbacks to get out into open space. Right there, you saw a prime example of it. Redford just only getting a yard.
Another handoff. This time it's Nakai, and the smaller back gains 8 yards, and that will bring up a much easier 3rd down.
Yeah, manageable, I think, is the right term for that as well. What he was able to do there is huge. That opens up the playbook and allows take a look at that route right there being run. But what that does is it allows you to go to many more different play options. You can go run if you feel like, or, that pretty good plethora of passing plays there as well.
Third and short from their own 24-yard line. Handoff here for Redford, and he will dive forward for a 1st down for Vancouver.
Yeah, a good job right there by Redford. Again, someone as resilient as Redford able to come up with the much-needed yardage to keep this drive alive.
First down, they go back to Nakai, who gets a couple of good blocks and fights off Luis Quintana for the 1st down.
Boy, that is good. They have a great tandem in the backfield right there between those two. Tough to really know who's going to break free for those guys, and Nakai has really put in the work this year as well. As we take a look at some of his stats on the season: 146 yards, averaging about 5.4 a carry, so a nice season underway for Nakai.
There's a lot of youth mixed in with his experience on the Denver defense, and they've been fighting off a good portion of that today. Great coverage there, and it forces a 2nd down. Let's meet that Denver defense for the first time today. We've already talked about a whole bunch of these defenders getting some interceptions. Hugo Reynosa, Gerald Cumbus, Joseph Saboka, and Brenda Puff are all on the line. They've forced a whole lot out of that offensive line week in, week out. Stephon Ford, Stuart Gotts, and Luis Quintana are the linebackers. Xavier Rowe III, and Andre Tucker, Nick Kindler, and Luke Schreiner are the corners. Jeff Melanishin and Lucas DeVore are both at safety as Brown looks to throw in that direction, and it is caught. Brett Killian, in a sea of trees, pulls that one in.
And that's the 2nd time we have called his name. That was Lucas DeVore, who was literally blanketing him. He was all over him like a suit or something, just completely cloaking him. But at the same time, Killian really able to reel that one in. Like I said, he's good in the clutch, comes up with the big receptions when needed.
Weak guy formation here on 1st and 10. Now from Denver's side of midfield. A good little run from Nakai. Shakes and bakes, and he's off to the races. 20, 10, dragged down at the 10. A fantastic run from Nakai. Devori caught up to him just in time.
What a welcome addition this pseudo Nakai is. Let's take a look at his awards. Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, coming over from the Mavericks, and they are so excited to have him. That is a great tandem player there for Redford. And look at the speed when he gets out in the open field. He turns on the jets and is a very tough guy to bring down.
1st and goal. They'll mark him down at the 9-yard line. And off middle, Redford is stood up by Stuart Gotts after a short pickup.
And we've called Gotts' name a couple of times already. You know, we talked about the big interception. And again, though, he's been doing a really good job just kind of staying in the perimeter there and coming up when they need a big play, whether it be through the air or on the ground.
Been the longest drive of the game so far. Play number 9 on its way as Brown will send Kendra Wells in motion. He will snap it just over the minute mark. Pass middle, off the shoulder pad of Luis Quintana. Ball falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down.
And this is a big 3rd down. You had Nakai with the big run, and you surely don't want to settle for a field goal. You'll take any points that you can get. But if you're Vancouver, you want to show that you can punch it in the end zone here. You don't want them to have a goal line stand.
Brown will look to throw. Looking middle. He finds Nick Lockett, who hadn't scored a touchdown since the miracle in Mexico.
And he has certainly snapped that streak and at a most perfect time for this Vancouver Legion. I hope we get a chance to look at this route here because it was a thing of beauty. Christian Brown, this will also give him a ton of confidence. Take a look at that little shimmy right there, and he totally just blows by Luke Schreiner on his way to the house for 6. That was beautiful.
And Vancouver now an extra point away from tying up this football game. The miracle in Mexico. Lockett with his last touchdown through the air comes away with the miracle by returning the opening kickoff in overtime for Mexico City's first win on the season in season 21. Comes up with his first touchdown as a member of the Legion, and now it's an all tied up ball game again at 7.
Quite a good welcome gift, I guess you would say, being part of this team and to get that touchdown. So he'll be very useful for this team, no doubt.
Deep kick is hauled in cleanly by Dylan Lewis, and he will take a knee in the back of the end zone. And a great drive from Vancouver ends in a touchdown as Christian Brown gets back on the right side of things. And now it's an all-new ball game, all tied up, and Denver takes the ball.
That was much needed if they were going to stay in this game.
5-step drop from Struthers, tries to dump it off to O'Shaughnessy, but in the backfield, in a hurry, was Emmanuel Blackman.
Yeah, that is just textbook right there. If you're wanting to teach someone the fundamentals of playing defensive football, take a look at that right there. You look no further. He did a great job of staying in the perimeter and a nice job of being on the spot for the open field tackle.
Struthers again will look to throw. It's a deep drop and just has to check it down to Ari Mills, but Vancouver were alive to it. Waiting in the wings was Marquise Reed and Bobo Cadill.
Yeah, you know, I think that says a lot about this Vancouver defense. The fact that Struthers had all that time to look deep, and then he had to go with his check down. And again, we talk about that front 7 there or so, or the front line, of Vancouver, and just how good they are, showing it again on that play.
Brothers, 7-step drop, needs 10 yards and hits Mosley underneath, has to try and work for it, but Drew Hamilton alongside Zach Lane bring him down 2 yards short of the line to gain.
It's such a nice play and something that doesn't need to be understated with how tough it was to make that tackle.
And that brings us to the end of the first quarter. 7-7 our score. You're watching Week 6 of the Simulation Football League. Welcome back to the Delta Dome here in Vancouver, Canada. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Cameron Duty. Special thanks to Top Kiefer and Bismarck Wright, the stats truck. And of course, back at SFL headquarters is Cameron Irvine, the SFL commissioner. He'll be bringing us game updates from the game going over in Portland between the Fleet and the Houston Headhunters. As that punt is on its way from Goen, here comes the return from Lunar, and that's one of his least favorite returns, only a few yards back up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, so this Vancouver offense going to have an opportunity to go to work here and not only play, they were down by 7 early in this game, and now they have a chance to go up ahead if they can get this drive together. And as I said, so important for Christian Brown, that good drive really going to put him in a good place and get a little bit more confidence in him, no doubt.
First and 10 now here for Vancouver. Lockett, who had the touchdown the last drive, moves to the slot in the near side, and a handoff for Nakai, who sneaks out of one tackle before Queen Tanat tackles him after a gain of 5.
So 2nd down and 5 here. Again, good positive yardage. Again, we talk about the importance of short yardage and how that opens up the playbook here. And for a team like Vancouver with the backfield tandem that you have, that is a lot. You can even go the screen route there. They're very good at that. We'll see if that's something they look to do on 2nd and 5.
Handoff to Redford as Redford tried to get around his offensive lineman, but that allowed Brenda Puff to get in the backfield.
Well, what more needs to be said? Brenda Puff just doing a fantastic job of stuffing the line there. Take a look at those stats. 6'7" and 325 pounds for the 2-year player on this team.
Now not even midway through this campaign, Puff has now doubled their TFL total in their short career as Lockett finds another catch to the Denver 45.
Yeah, Lockett coming alive in this game, and you can tell that the chemistry with Brown starting to form, starting to take shape here after 4 games, now into the 5th one for Vancouver. And take a look at the route, some of the best route running I've seen out of Lockett this entire season, matching up really well with those defenders for Denver.
And that's really added another wrinkle. You always have to look out for Brett Killian and Kendra Wells, but Nick Lockett, now the 3rd target that Denver must keep their eye on. And Vancouver run with Redford, his best run of the night by far, and it's a 12-yard pickup before he's blasted.
Yeah, that right there shows exactly what Redford can do. Not stop behind the line on that occasion, no sir. Instead, watch him bounce off of a tackle. Great resiliency as we've seen all throughout the Hall of Famer's career, and just doing big things again on that run.
Now they come out in a split backfield. 3 wide receivers here for Brown. On Denver's 32-yard line, pitch play. Nakai, right side. He had blockers out there and almost got out of the tackle, but finally brought down by Jeff Melanishin, the former member of the Revolution.
Yeah, and they certainly like having him over here, as you said, coming over from Louisiana. A season 12 All-Star, so this guy knows how to get it done.
Now I formation here for Christian Brown and the Legion. 7:30 to go in quarter number 2. Handoff up the middle. This time it's Sawyer Stern, the fullback, picking up a good chunk of yards. 3rd and 2.
And that does bring up a very important 3rd down here for Vancouver, wanting again to really take control of this game, I feel like, for the moment anyway, and show that you have the upper hand in the offensive department. They can do that with a conversion here.
And Redford looking for it, and he cannot get it. Melanishin and Xavier Rowe come up with the stop. It's a close one.
It is close, and at times you really did feel as if the daylight was going to be there for Redford to run through. But as you said, Melanishan and Rowe just closed on that quickly.
Here comes Chance to Win, who's 8 of 9 this season, and he connects to make it 9 of 10 on the long season. And Vancouver move out in front for the first time tonight. It's 10-7.
And they will, again, as you said, go out front. Maybe certainly not wanting that drive to stall there. And you got to give credit for Denver being able to clamp down and keep them to only a field goal. But still, for Vancouver, you got to feel pretty good after the slow start, able to come back and put some points on the board.
We are set to roll again as To Win boots this deep downfield, and another kneel down from Dylan Lewis in the back of the end zone results in a touchback, and so Denver will start this next drive on their own 20-yard line. Liking the game so far? Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The SFL produces over 400 events a year. There is no one else that gives you more football. Don't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action and help the channel grow through your support. Football all year long as O'Shaughnessy gets the give, 4 yards.
You talk about that football all year long. There is no other league that gives you this much action. And I'm telling you what, the games that we've had this weekend, a great example of the type of product here in the SFL. It's wonderful stuff.
Caleb Giffis stealing the win for Florida against Alamo City on the road just an hour or so ago. A fantastic ending. Seattle racking up the score late. Lots of great football and lots of highlights you can go also check out right here on the SFL YouTube channel. 3rd and 3 now here for Denver. It's an offset eye behind Struthers. 4-3 look out of Vancouver, and they will back off, waiting the run, and that gives plenty of time for Charles Stackhouse to dive forward for the first down.
And wasn't that impressive? I mean, a shot out of there like a cannon was Stackhouse. And again, his one objective, get to the sticks and get the first down, and he did that and then some.
Another I formation here for Denver. It'll be a passing play. Check down near side. Really nothing O'Shaughnessy could do about it. Blown up before that play could even get going.
Yep, Zach Lay, again, we've called his name a couple of times in this game for tackles such as that. And again, just a good job of reading where that play was going and snuffing it out, stopping it on sight.
It's the 3rd TFL for Vancouver's defense tonight. Struthers looking to throw, pressure coming off the edge, and he gets it over to Dylan Lewis in just the nick of time, gaining of 6 yards. It'll be 3rd and 7.
So interesting, you're seeing these wide receivers really run some nice routes. They're in the place that they need to be. It's either been Struthers getting blown up in the backfield or just having to settle for the short routes, but nothing working so far in this game, really.
Struthers, middle, open is Mosley in plenty of space, down to the 20, looking for the corner, 5, touchdown, Denver Nightwings! They retake the lead on an explosive bomb from Struthers to Mosley.
Just as I got to finish saying that we hadn't seen anything really impressive out of the passing game for Denver, there it is. And Struthers wanting to shut me up, no doubt. But take a look at that. Really not sure what happened with the coverage there. They left the middle of the field wide open for Mosley, and you just can't do that. He takes it all the way to the house, and this Denver offense gets the shot in the arm that they needed.
66 yards for Mosley. 2nd touchdown of the season. 1st touchdown of the night for Struthers as the extra point is up and good. It's a 4-point lead now for the Denver Nightwings on the road. And we've seen plenty already, partner, where this so-called home cooking for teams left, right, and center in the SFL getting off a really good start to the season. Only one home team has won so far.
Yeah, I mean, that is an incredible stat. When you, as you said, it's very surprising. It really makes you kind of stop and see just how tough some of these road warriors are, making a lot of great plays and coming up with some big-time wins around the league.
So Vancouver will start their next possession on their own 30-yard line. Another solid return. And Vancouver have been marching down the field. You can see that reflected in the stats. Just those turnovers and untimely positions maybe have muted a little bit of their offensive attack. But they had another chance. Move down the field. They start with Redford up the middle. Gains 2 before he is brought down by Melanishin.
4 minutes and some change here in this first half, and you think if you're Vancouver, you could really use that to your advantage. Go on a nice, methodical, lengthy drive and keep the good majority of the end of this first half anyway in your possession. Come away with some points.
Another run. This time it's Nakai who gets much better blocking than his halfback counterpart, and a down and distance we've seen quite often tonight, partner. 3rd and 2.
Yep. Quite a bit. As you mentioned, we have seen 3rd and 2 a lot. They have done decent thus far. Would be interesting to see if they keep it on the ground here. I would expect them to.
3 of 4, and they try to go with Redford, and he just cannot get going tonight. Stefan Forge cleans up Redford's blushes, and it'll be 4th down.
You know, I don't think it's a bad option there to look for Lockett, for example, on those 3rd and 2s. You know, he does a really good job of running in between the hash marks there on some of those shorter routes. I think that may be something you want to look at if Redford can't get going.
Chance to win. Oh, another kicker pulling double duty in the SFL. He punts this one away. It's a good punt and a solid return from Dylan Lewis up to his own 35-yard line.
I love just speaking about how this momentum has shifted already so many times in this game. You know, you had Vancouver come out, defense playing good, and then you get the interception. Denver punches it in early, and then it's just been one momentum swing after another. It's like a prize fight or something. You know, 2 big heavyweight teams making big swings at one another.
2 wide receivers nearly unguarded near side of your screen as Struthers will look over the middle. What a snag from Jeremy Mosley for 9 yards.
Yeah, this guy is coming alive, and Struther knows it as well. You know, he had the big run just a few moments ago after that reception, and that is only going to cause Struthers to get more confident and more comfortable in throwing to him, and you're starting to see a result of that.
9 of 12 now for Struthers. Hands it off this time up the middle, O'Shaughnessy, and that's as easy as you'd like. Good push from that offensive line. That sees him get a 1st down.
Yeah, a very nice job there. Good job. Good push by the offensive line to help O'Shaughnessy as well. And, you know, you take a look at Struthers and the pass attempts that he has had recently, doing a much better job of protecting that football.
9 of 10 of his last 10 throws there for the Denver quarterback. Short little run there for 2 yards.
And I think you have seen that offense get more comfortable as this game has moved along. You know, some of them have been short dink and dunks, but then you've got the big explosive 66-yard play. And what does that do? I talked about it with Christian Brown. It gives him confidence as well.
Up the middle, Ari Mills lowers a shoulder, gains 4 more for Denver.
So 3rd and short coming up here to this 2-minute warning, Tyler.
And indeed, they will let it go to the 2-minute warning. 14-10, Denver with the ball and with the lead. Can they extend the lead, or will Vancouver's defense show up? You're watching the SFL on YouTube. 2 minutes to play here in this first half. The Delta Dome getting loud here in Vancouver. Split backfield for Struthers on a 3rd and 4 play call. Struthers checks it down, and Ari Mills has plenty of space to run into, and he will pick up the 1st down.
You know, take note of that. That's kind of the thing that I think Vancouver needs to look at in some of their 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 situations. Instead of just trying to spread it out and run wide with Redford and Nakai, maybe take a look at a play design such as that. That could be beneficial for them too. So, you know, pay attention on the other side of the sidelines there and see what you might could draw up later in this game.
There's a run up the middle for O'Shaughnessy. Make that the 9th consecutive play call for Denver that has gone for positive yards.
and beginning, as we said, more comfort. You can see it. You can see it in their demeanor even as they walk up to the line. This offensive play scheme is really starting to work in their favor.
Here comes Ace Ketchum, another short yardage pickup, and a timeout will be called. It's going to be called by Denver just at the Vancouver 37. Third down upcoming. Need about 7 or 8 yards to get into Neil Racker's range. So you're looking at, you need a first down or you're punting. Trips to Struthers' left. 4-man rush. He looks to the left. Finds his receiver, Dalton Barker, out there. Still a few yards short. Timeout called again. I'll say it was Denver who called it. That's going to bring up a punting situation.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of surprised that they wouldn't just, no. Look here, Tyler.
Fourth down, they're going to go for it. Gutsy play call to try and keep the pressure on Vancouver. The defensive backs are giving the wide receivers about 10 yards between them in only a 4th and 4 situation. Struthers underneath, and he overthrows his intended target, nearly found a defender instead. It's a turnover on downs.
That was a very gutsy, aggressive play call. Very surprised that they did that. I expected them to punt. That was almost a pick six as well. That was scary. Zach Lay could have easily grabbed that one and went the other direction. I guess they wanted to try to see if they could keep the drive alive. I'm kind of surprised with the timeouts. I had a feeling something was going on with them calling it as opposed to just letting the clock run down and then punting it. We'll see if that's something that comes back to hurt them later on.
So now Vancouver will have a shot with the football. Under a minute to go here in the half. It's a dump off. Nakai unable to turn all the way around. It hits his back. Incomplete. Stops the clock at 55 seconds.
Yeah, and now we will see just how aggressive Vancouver may want to be with this couple of seconds here we have left in the half. You have to think they may try to take a few shots. If there's nothing there, they may just go into the locker rooms.
Wells in motion to the far side. Two tight ends near side. Brown, 5-man rush, looks open. Kendra Wells is there. Lucas Devore drags her down on the other side of midfield, and Vancouver have life at the end of the half.
Yeah, they sure do. We said that we would expect them to take at least one shot or two. That design was what you seen earlier with Kendra Wells. You take a look at that. The 2 receptions for 56 yards, and it's because of the 2 big plays she's had along the sidelines. She is really burning up that route at the moment.
Christian doesn't like what he sees out of Denver's defense in the I formation. Looking to throw, middle open. Here goes Vancouver's offense, deep inside Denver territory now. That's Stephen McMichaels, the tight end.
Yep, and now they're using their timeouts, wanting to at least get into field goal range. It's so interesting what one play can do. It's just like, the spark that sets them ablaze. We've seen that a couple times in this game, just how things turn around with one solid play.
16 yards for McMichaels, only his 8th reception of this young season. From Denver's 27, Brown finds Killian at the 15-yard line. Another first down for Vancouver.
If they can finish this drive with a touchdown, that'll be completely masterful. I like what they're doing. They're going to the middle of the field, as we had kind of talked about. That would be beneficial for them. They're finding people such as Killian right there. And as we mentioned, McMichael's doing a nice job between the hashes.
Now they have no timeouts. Brown looking, and so Killian nearly brought it in. What a hit from Jeff Melanishin, a touchdown-saving hit.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing when he made that hit. He knew he had to get him at just the right time and with just the right amount of force behind it to jar that ball loose, because that could have easily been a first down, if not a touchdown. Big play by Melanishin.
The 8-season veteran is a defensive back, a leader for this Denver Nightwing team, and is really, you can tell his veteran presence has had a dramatic impact on Denver's game plan. It's looking for touchdown number 2, goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Well, we saw Lockett go in motion, and from the moment that they snapped that football, it was so interesting because Christian Brown looked his way the entire way. Again, another good route. I mean, those little shimmies, those little jukes right there that he does is just enough to kind of put the defensive backs on their heels, if you will. And he did a good job of getting upfield and getting the reception. With 30 seconds to go here, they are in prime real estate.
Wow, they're going to not even mark him at the 1. It's the 1-inch line. And Brown's going to be in the gun. They're going to try and pass. Brown, end zone, finds his man. Touchdown, Brett Killian. Oh, we almost had you should have run it situation. Instead, touchdown, Vancouver.
When you have a play call like that, and you're the coach, you either look like a genius or you don't. But I think that right there was gutsy. I think that showed that they had confidence in their offensive unit and their receivers, such as Killian, to come up and make the big play. And that was a statement right there. That's really all that can be said. That was a statement play that puts Vancouver in the lead.
We're getting a sideline report from one of our officials here that Brett told Nick Luck to get out of bounds the 1 so he could get a touchdown. I don't think that was the case, but they marched down the field in 32 seconds to retake the lead. Masterful, masterwork, genius from the coaching staff in Vancouver. Brilliant execution from the Legion offense, and it's 17-14.
And how big does that 4th down attempt, attempt for the conversion there, the failed attempt, I should say, look for Denver right now? I mean, that was big. That could have been another swing in the momentum with that. They can't convert on the 4th down. Instead of pinning them deep, they get decent field position. They go right down the field, Tyler, and score.
There's a reason why Andy Hamilton is always touted as one of the best head coaches in this league. He gets some great help from Charles Doherty and Mark Lopez also in that coaching room, and they have put together a game plan to go toe-to-toe with just about everyone this season, including Denver here tonight, as the run from Ari Mills goes nowhere. The Greek Nightmare again in the backfield.
Absolutely. A nice job once more by Achilles there. 7 seasons and all of them with Vancouver. And, a 3-time All-Star. So the guy is great. And you got to believe if you're Denver here, just take this one into the locker room. Come back out and try again.
Brothers, one last heave over the middle of the field. Bounces off the helmet of the defender. Falls incomplete. And that will take us to halftime here in Vancouver. A brilliant end of the half play results in Vancouver having the lead 17-14. Cameron, let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. There's so much to unpack in this first half, but it really has been a good half of football. We have seen Vancouver's defense rise up at times and stop the Nightwings. That was pivotal, that 4th down play that we just saw when they tried to go for it. And then Vancouver's offense comes right back down the field to get the lead late in the half. But I want to go back earlier in this game to see how the Nightwings benefited from a turnover by Christian Brown. Early in this game, if you're just tuning in, they had a big interception where Gotts got all the way back to the goal line, and then Denver was able to punch it in. Since then, Denver's offense has been spotty at times, and the result of that is Vancouver has been able to claw their way back in and now take the lead. If you are the Nightwings, I think you need to work on the ground game, get O'Shaughnessy active. That should help the passing lanes get open. That's my suggestion. That's what I think needs to be seen in this second half for Denver if they want to get back in the lead with this one, because Vancouver doing a nice job right now.
Welcome back to the Legion's home field. The Delta Dome is hosted by Delta Flare, a startup company building video games and economic solutions for blockchain compatibility. Grab your knots and get ready for their premier title, Valor Rising: Quest for the Seven. Visit their website at deltaflare.gg for more details. Here comes the return from Chris Sunsury. Up the middle, up to the 31-yard line. A great return sets up Vancouver on their opening drive here in the Delta Dome. Pretty well, I would say.
Yeah, I would think so too. And you talk about a team that's going to be brimming with confidence coming out of the locker room. Well, it's Vancouver after that very, as we said, masterful drive at the end of the first half that gives them the lead. They have an opportunity to kind of put their foot on Denver's throat, if you will, if they can go down the field and score a touchdown here.
Tight ends and 2 wide receivers. Here for Christian Brown to start the drive. He will start with a run for Redford. Gets great blocking the outside. Another good run for Redford. Gain 7.
And Redford now starting to kind of open up a little bit. That offensive line getting him some good lanes to run through. And he is someone who benefits the more you give him the football, the more comfortable he gets. And he can start to turn on the jets. He's been able to do that his entire career.
But it really has been Sudunakai who has been more the bell cow tonight, right around 70 yards on the ground compared to Redford's 26. They try and run up the middle with a fullback, Mateo Pravado. And that's a first down. First touch of the game for Pravado. Now every single back has a carry.
Yeah, they want to make sure that everybody is utilized, and I think that, using the fullback there on Pravado on such a short yardage situation, that was a nice job because he's able to pick up those tough yardage that they needed.
Another fullback dive. This time it's Sawyer Stern who gains 6 yards, and there was a little bit of confusion or something was going on in Portland, but maybe the Portland fleet have gotten out of their harbor. Cam, over to you.
Thank you, Tyler. Well, this is the type of season that Portland's had. Watch this play from Mike St. Green, although DR Sim is in motion and going to kill our drive. Let's come back after this play.
We'll go back to Cam in just a moment. Thanks, Cam. 2nd and 4, high formation. We have a motion here in our drive as well, as here comes Redford trying to go up the middle, and they will give him the first down. Now back to Cameron Irvine in studio.
All right, yeah, let's take a look at this. So watch this start for Houston on this drive. Mike St. Green with this catch, breaks off a tackle, gets a block, goes around, and he's gone all the way to the 4-yard line. Houston would score, then Portland would fumble the ensuing kickoff. It's 21-3 Headhunters late in the first. Back to you.
Yikes. Thanks, Cam. Nakai with the give this time around, gains 1, and fortunately for Portland, they just can't seem to get anything working, either on offense or defense, or in even special teams, Cameron.
Yeah, they couldn't catch a break if they wanted to. I don't know if they could catch a cold at this point. I mean, it's just been a tough year for them thus far. Hopefully they can get it turned around, but gosh, the frustration out of that fleet has to be strong.
That, as they would say, partner, was cold, as the run up the middle from Pravado is now the run game comes alive. It's a good run. Now it's 3rd and short, and Vancouver starting to light up not just the scoreboard, but maybe the hearts of Vancouver fans who have seen their ball club, Cameron, lose 2 straight.
Yeah, this is such a turning point in their season early on. They want to stop this skid. You know what I mean? They want to be able to turn around and really show that they can get off the schneid here.
Bravado is plastered by Melanishin, and again, Melanishin showing why he deserves an all-star nod this season. He has been the rock in that defensive Denver secondary.
Oh, yeah, he's done such a good job, too. I mean, we talked about him early in this game and just how strong his efforts have been this season. Such a good acquisition.
Solid punt from Tuwin. No fair catch called for at the 13, and maybe they should have. Maybe Lewis should have, because he was brought down quickly by J.J. Winfield at his 14-yard line. Out comes Denver's offense for the first time in the half, partner, and now they're down by 3 after the 2-minute drill drive, or I should say 32-second drive to end the first half. And they got a little bit of work to do, but still plenty of time left on the game clock. Seven-step drop. Strother just tucks it and runs, and he slides down, holds on to it this time after a gain of 5.
An important drive here, in my opinion, Tyler, for Denver to come back out and really reassert themselves on offense. It has been spotty, to say the least. Strutters has had decent numbers, as you can see, and they have been able to have a couple of big plays, but they need to get a little more consistency about them, in my opinion.
And off Mills with O'Shaughnessy blocking for him, but Mills uses his strength to fight off Achilles' second hit, and Mills picks up a Denver first down.
That was a nice play, and you take a look. That's one of the things, the attributes of R.E. Mills that you always point out. He is so tough. He's gritty, gutsy, whatever word that you want to say. He doesn't give up on a play, let's put it that way. And so in those situations when they need the tough yardage like that, he's the perfect guy to put in.
Stackhouse now lines up as the lone back. 2 wide receivers off to Struthers' right. Now Mosley in motion toward the near side. 4-3 look out of Vancouver, who give plenty of respect for those lone 2 wide receivers. Struthers rolling, firing, nearly hauled in by Logan Keel. Late hit from Lay. It seems like Struthers has tried to target Lay, and Lay has come alive here in this game.
They've no doubt tempted Lay. I mean, that's really on that they are to it, Tyler. We have seen a constant, repetitive action there of going in his direction. And, boy, like you said, that's only fueled the fire for Christian Lay, Zach Lay, who's doing just a masterful job today.
Slot receiver right side, unguarded at the moment, and instead they will run O'Shaughnessy up the middle. Maybe a 2-yard gain before he's dragged all the way back in the backfield by Gerald Giudice.
And a big 3rd and 8 coming up here, too, as we mentioned. Denver wanting to try to extend a drive, show that they can consistently move the football down the field. You got to convert on 3rd down, and I tell you, 3rd and 8 is not a good spot to be in.
Struthers under pressure, and he tries to escape Bobo, and he gets the first down for his troubles. Michael Lister and Bobo Caudill bring down the escapability of Struthers.
That's wonderful right there. I mean, that's what you need from your quarterback. You know, you're looking at him, the leader of this offensive unit, your captain, and, you know, you want him to be able to make big plays when it's crumbling all around. That's exactly what he did. He takes it up on himself to keep this drive alive. That was great.
Now at the halfway point here for Denver. Another 3rd down conversion, now converting on 50% of 3rd downs tonight, 4 of 8. Struthers under pressure again, and he's looking to fit it into Keel and can't. 2 defenders were there, including Farnsey with the swat down.
Had a great job by Farnsey, just not stopping on the play. As we said, swatting that one away to where Denver or anybody around couldn't do anything with it.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Offset eye behind Struthers. He will look to throw. 5-man rush. Dump off near side for O'Shaughnessy, who's got plenty of room and will get blasted forward. They don't give him the first down. They do give him a gain of 9, though.
Yeah, it's going to set up an interesting 3rd and 1 here. You would expect that they'll just line up and try to shove this right down the defense's throat. I could be wrong, but that looks like it's what we're setting up to see.
8 men in the box with one of the safeties playing a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage. They send a late blitz, but Ace Ketchum can get the first down just near the yard, and that's all he got.
Yeah, they gave it to the rookie there and said, you know, hey, welcome to the big leagues, my friend. We're entrusting you with this important play, and he did just enough to get the first, to keep the drive alive. This is what they need here.
Right at the smack dab center of the field. Right in between the hash marks and right on the midfield logo. 1st and 10 now. Here for Denver, under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Struthers under pressure, and there's Bobo Caudill again! He found a picnic basket, his 2nd time tonight.
Yeah, this isn't the first time we've seen that, is it, Tyler? I mean, I love this guy. I love watching this guy play on the defensive line, the way that he does. Again, another masterful swim move, simply going to the inside of the offensive lineman there. And as you can see, he was hungry. As you said, he found that picnic basket. He wanted one more on the day, and that could derail this nice drive by Denver.
Sack number 6 this season. Struthers under pressure again. Bobo breathing all over him. Had to get rid of it, and it's deflected again. Mark Lopez, and it's 3rd and long now.
Yeah, nice job by Lopez. And and we certainly know about him and just all of his accolades and the good job he does on the defensive side of things. Two-time All-Star, all 12 seasons with Vancouver, coming up with a big play because Denver now looking rattled on 3rd and long.
3rd and the Northwest Territory to go here for the Nightwings. Another pressure.
Bobo
Cannell! Oh my goodness! 3rd sack tonight!
Oh, yeah, well, you know what? If you get 3 sacks like that, 2-on-1 drive, yeah, you're going to have a smile on your face like he did when he got up off the turf. He absolutely slings Struthers down like a rag doll and puts an end to a drive that we said was probably one of the most sustained and promising that Denver had in this entire game.
We told you they were hungry, this front 7 for Vancouver, and Bobo Cannell has done nothing but impress here tonight. But a fumble, and it's recovered quickly by Michael Lister. And Vancouver will indeed have another possession. Have you ever wanted to be a play-by-play or analyst broadcaster? We are looking for passionate SFL participants or viewers like you to join the team for the next minor league season kicking off in just a few months. Please visit simulationfl.net/broadcasting for more details on how you can get involved, get your voice on the call, and maybe call a better game than I'm doing right now.
I think you're doing a fine job.
I appreciate it. We are the B team tonight. Brandon Walters and Chad Stinson both have the night off and filling in relief. I think we're doing a pretty good job, partner, but we could always use more broadcasters in the SFL. Christian Brown, middle Michael. Stephen McMichaels, first down near midfield.
Oh, that's nice. We take a look at his stats on the season, and they have been using him quite often in this season 22 here. 7 receptions coming into the game. This isn't counting the ones today, and already about 11 or so yards average there per carry. So they know how to go to this guy in the situations that they need something big.
2 touchdowns in just the last 10 passes for Christian Brown. He wants to turn around this losing streak into a winning streak rather quickly. Looking left side, open is Lunar. Another wide open Vancouver receiver, and Christian Brown has done a fantastic job finding him after the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he has certainly turned things around and been able, I think, one of the things that's worked so well for him is spreading the football out. And you can see that he's been able to get a lot of people involved. Lockett, Kendra Wells, Brett Killian, now Lunar, of course, McMichaels. Just great distribution this entire game. And you can see really the middle, yeah, he's been going there quite a bit, but still left and right side, he's been busy there too.
That's interesting because he's going away from his strong side. Now he rolls to his strong side, looking for a corner route. Caught by Killian, who rolls out of bounds near the 25-yard line. And that'll keep the chains moving for the Legion.
Killian has done a magnificent job this entire game of coming up with really impressive, agile receptions. I mean, we've seen him go one-handed. We've seen him lunge over defenders and take big hits to hold on to the football. And now we're seeing him go down to the turf, literally to his shoelaces, to pick one up off the ground.
Another completion for Brown, tearing apart this Denver secondary at the moment. Five yards away from the red zone. Vancouver come out 9. They will run up the middle, and Robert Redford is stood up, but Stuart Gotts at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, a nice pursuit by Gotts there, making sure Redford didn't have any room to roam, and only 1 yard on that.
Brown will look to throw now. Dump off. Redford does a little bit better job with some momentum behind him and rolls through Nick Kindler's tackle for a gain of 8.
And this is such a huge drive. You know, it really probably doesn't need to be stated. It's very obvious. But Vancouver here taking it down to the end of this third quarter. If they can punch this through with a touchdown and go up by 10, that's huge in this game with the amount of time we have left and the way that they've been playing.
Mackay and Pravado on the backfield, except it'll be a catch by McMichaels, who gets a nice little spin around play himself. He bulldozes one and then is blasted himself by Kindler. First and goal, meanwhile, for Vancouver.
You know what's amazing about that is the fact he made that reception, he got turned around, and then he knew, I'm just going to have to make something happen. And how do you make something happen? Well, you just start bulldozing over a bunch of defenders, and that's exactly what McMichaels was able to do to get himself from behind the line of scrimmage into the open field, and a first down, an important first down for Vancouver and the Legion here.
From the 5-yard line, they come out in an I formation with one lone wide receiver, goal line defense here for Denver with 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. Handoff, left side, Stern gains maybe 2.5 yards before he's brought down. And that will take us to the fourth quarter. A close 3-point ball game is all that separates Denver and Vancouver. Who comes out on top and moves to 3-2? We'll find out in just a moment. For now, here are our league rights.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Welcome back to the Delta Dome here in Vancouver, Canada. I'm Tyler Falk alongside camera duty here in the booth. Special thanks to Top Kiefer and Bismarck Wright and the stats truck, of course.
And on second down here, we have a handoff up the middle to Redford, I believe that was, and he is going to be short on 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal coming up, a big 3rd and goal. As we said, Vancouver wanting to get the first down here, or excuse me, the touchdown more importantly, to go up. We'll see what happens. Into the end zone for 6. Touchdown, Vancouver. And that's the big man out of the backfield, number 48, Mateo Pravado. And you take a look at the handoff here, just, in the run up the middle. Great job of the offensive line, paving a way for Mateo. And Vancouver could extend this lead after the extra point.
Hey, camera duty, this to make it a 10-point ball game. Snap spot kick is up from chance to win, and it is good. It's now a 10-point lead, 24-14 here for the Legion. APM Music is unrivaled music to bring your stories to life, inspiring every production with the world's most robust and constantly refreshed music collection, state-of-the-art technology, and world-class customer service. APM Music is the official soundtrack of the Simulation Football League. To explore their library and to find the perfect tracks for your projects, visit apmmusic.com. Thank you once again, Cameron Irvine. It seems like Andy Hamilton toppled over my chair or something and got up from his little coaching stand and owner's box, and he decided to mess around with me a little bit.
I was going to watch Andy.
Fantastic guy, Andy Hamilton. Met him a couple times at a couple different SFL conventions.
Oh, yeah.
As his team currently leads by 10. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy gains 6 yards as Denver looked to try and scrape back this lead that Vancouver have built for themselves.
Yeah, and they've got time to do it if they can get the offensive output that we know that they can do. Sometimes they struggle, but they've got great talent there in both the backfield and out and the wide out. So we'll see if they can make something happen.
Ace catch him going nowhere. Achilles Papatona's tag teaming with DJ Woods for a loss of 1.
This is the part. You don't want to be down 10 points to anybody, but you talk about this Vancouver front and just how hungry they are. We've seen them all game long. It's going to be hard to come back from. They're going to be smelling blood in the water right now.
Outside. Mosley had the first, had to loop around and still picks it up.
Kind of reminiscent of what we saw with McMichael on the series before for Vancouver, and we've got a challenge here, Tyler.
Andy Hamilton doesn't like that. He's had enough of messing around with my microphone and decides that we need to take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. Under the hood we go.
I got to give him a 10 out of 10 for that hanky throw as well. Take a look at this reception here with Mosley. Oh, and yeah.
Did he step out? Oh, that's super close.
It feels like one angle it looked like he did. That one right there, I'm not so sure. It's going to be very close.
Here's the call. Indeed, they call him out of bounds short of the line to gain. And now it is crunch time for the offensive minds in Denver. OC head coach, defensive coordinator. He does it all, Stefan Forge.
Absolutely. And as you said, an important fourth down here, and you are down by 10. You are way back there. They're really in no position to go for it, I wouldn't think either. So Gowan won't have to punt.
And what a great challenge from Andy Hamilton. That happened right on his sideline. He was Johnny on the spot with that hanky throw. And the punt is away from Toby Gowan. And the return from Lunar goes all the way up to their own 37-yard line. Stay tuned for SFL announcements on enhancements and new features coming to the progression system, plus the location and details on the 2024 SFL convention. The SFL is committed to improving the league and its convention each season, and the next level of play on and off the field and in the pool and on the portal is coming soon. Christian Brown looking to pass near side. He finds Lunar on another corner out. Another first down, another gain of 15 plus.
And that was beautiful right there. We've seen some nice receptions out of this Legion receiving core, and we'll see another one right here on this replay. I love the fact he kind of stopped on the route and backed into it. He high-pointed the football. Not only that, he knew that there was a diving defender coming towards him. He adjusted his body nicely to reel that one in and securely get the first down.
That's the unofficially ninth reception for Vancouver that has gone for 15 or more yards in the game tonight. Short little 1-yard pickup on the ground. Brings up second down.
You know, this is such an important game for Vancouver. It really needs to be stated how important it is. As we said, getting off of a 2-game losing streak where they were held to just really 15 points in those 2 losses, the total, rather. They only scored 12 against Carolina and then 3 against Canton. So to get 24 points and then some here potentially, that's huge for this team.
Going around, Kendra Wells down the sideline and is finally brought down by Stefan Forge inside the 10-yard line. These corner routes are just a wrinkle in Andy Hamilton's game plan that have really given Denver's defense fits.
Sure has, and I would just about challenge anyone to find anyone better than Kendra Wells, who has did a nice job of route running this week. I mean, getting wide open and adjusting not only her route, but the positioning of her body to make some very crucial catches. I mean, she's just been on target all game long.
So it's first and goal from the 7-yard line to go up by more than 2 scores. Pitch play near side. And it's a short, maybe 2-yard pickup for Suna Nakai on the swing pass.
And Denver here, you know, it's not lost on them what a stop could mean. Obviously, you know, you don't want to give up any points at all, but if you are to allow Vancouver into the end zone here, it could be just about game over. So if you are the Denver defense, you need to rise up here and make the stop of your life, honestly.
Corners creeping up to the line of scrimmage, reacting to Christian Brown, changing the call for Vancouver. Handoff, Redford through 1, nearly through 2. Couldn't get the touchdown, but it'll be 3rd and goal at the 1.
Redford was close to getting that first touchdown of the season for him. We haven't been able to say that, I don't believe, so far in this season 22. Just a yard short that time.
Redford takes a seat on the sidelines. Nakai now in the backfield, an offset eye. He gets the call, looking and swimming his way forward for Nakai's touchdown. Nakai's first rushing touchdown as a member of the Vancouver Legion.
Yeah, I have a date. Nakai, he has come up very important on some big plays, and then right there capping it off with his first touchdown as a member of the Legion. They'll definitely hang on to that game ball for sure. And not only was that a big play for him, that was the play that could have really deflated the balloon, so to speak, for Denver and put them behind the 8 ball here very late in this game.
First one in his return to Vancouver, I should say. Started his career with Andy Hamilton here in Vancouver. And now it's 31-14. Denver in a much bigger hole now.
Yeah, I think, Tyler, if Denver wants to have a shot at doing something late in this game, they're going to have to take some shots deep and really open up the playbook. We've seen them be pretty methodical other than the big play by Mosley. It's been kind of hit or miss on big plays down the field, but that's what it's going to take to claw themselves back into this.
This fourth quarter already. 2 touchdown drives for Vancouver. Might they try and pour it on like Seattle did earlier this weekend? Hopefully not for Denver. They played some solid ball for 3 quarters and have stayed close to Vancouver. Things have just gotten away from them here in quarter number 4.
So reminiscent of that game. I had the privilege to call that game, and I tell you what, that fourth quarter was stunning to a lot of us, just how Seattle was able to pour it on late in that game. It does have a little bit of, I guess I should say, similarity to that. Let me correct myself. We'll see what happens.
We'll start on the ground with Denver. Ari Mills, a yard brought down right up the gut by middle linebacker Josh Farnsey. It's only the 13th meeting between these two clubs. Denver, for the longest time, and in at least 3 of the last 4, have taken down Vancouver in seasons 13, 14, and 16. Hadn't played for a while until season 21 when Vancouver beat Denver right here at the Delta Dome 38-17 last season. And now Drew Hamilton, unfortunately, well, he's going to come off the field. He's played a solid game, but that might be a little dent into Vancouver's game plans now that he's off the field.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully nothing serious, able to at least walk off the field. That's a good sign. Hopefully he can come back in this game. As you said, it could throw a dent into their plan for sure. And again, a big third down here for Denver. Need to find a way to convert.
And back to this matchup history for a while. Denver, 8 wins in this series history. Vancouver has always tried their best, especially on the road, have yet to get a road win versus Denver. But here at home, it's been a little bit better, a little bit smoother sailing. All 4 wins and looking for win number 5 against Denver here tonight. Also at home, Jeremy Mosley, meanwhile, looks to keep Denver in it.
Yeah, Mosley has been the guy that they haven't really been able to rely on all game, and it's kind of the same route you've seen him score the touchdown on. Better defended that time, but again, it's that little streak across the middle that has done it.
Denver have played some really good ball as of late. Away games just really have seemed to be their Achilles heel so far this season. Both their losses have come on the road, and a near miss last week. They took on Arizona, and Arizona away with a last-second field goal to win that game. Now here against Vancouver, it just seems that Vancouver, especially on offense, has found the number. This Denver offense has to get going to try and keep pace. Now under 5 minutes to go, they cannot afford to keep running the football. They have to start airing it out.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth, Tyler. It's exactly what I was going to say. At some point, you got to go to the air.
Ari Mills, another give. Gets out of one tackle, gets a block, and what do we know? A run from Mills down the sideline, gets pushed out of bounds near the 21.
Well, that wouldn't be the first time that I've been made to look like a fool in today's game on my commentary, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, that was great. I guess that's why I'm up here and not down there on the field or on a coaching crew. But really, Mills, he did a good job. I mean, let's just give him all the props in the world. That was a gutsy call to call run right there, and he really made the best of it and got out of bounds.
Stops the clock at 4 minutes, 26 seconds. Down by 17. They need scores. They need them quick. You would have to wager they need a touchdown here in the next 26 seconds. Quick drop, quick hit. Nice catch, Logan Keel. Gains 8 yards. Quickly tackled. And now they come back to the line in a hurry. Almost, it's like we're in their helmets telling them they need to hurry up. And here they come. Struthers, middle, catch. Near the marker. They will give it to Keith Wheeler on only his 3rd reception this season. Gets the first down for Denver, and they continue on the march. Another quick hitter, Logan Keel, down to around the 2-yard line, and it's 2nd and 2. Have to get beyond the 1-yard line to get a first down, if not a touchdown. Struthers, end zone. It is off the hands of Logan Keel and falls to the turf, and I can finally take a breath.
Yeah, you'll get a chance to breathe now, Tyler. You know, it makes you wonder the success that they had on that quick up tempo, why they didn't go to that sooner. I mean, obviously you don't have to go that quick, but, you know, just have a little bit more urgency about you. We didn't see that out of Denver until very late in this game, but it seems to have, again, got Vancouver on their heels just a little bit more than what they've been accustomed to in this game as it's kind of drawn on.
Big 3rd down upcoming here for the Night Wings. From the 3-yard line, Struthers will look to pass middle. Caught! Touchdown! Chris Altair, who has been absent this entire season. That's his first catch, and it goes for 6.
And it couldn't have come at a more important time because that was a nice play, a nice route runner here. Watch him kind of just turn around, position his body again against the defender. No interception threat at all, and was able to snag that one in. And, boy, that was important. And with the extra point, they are down now just 10, and there is time on the clock. So Denver now finally with a little bit of a pulse late in this game.
And so here come the Night Wings. Snap, spot. Kick is up from Rackers, and it is good. It claws it back to within 10 with under 4 to go. We could see an onside kick possibility here from Denver to try and keep the football. Indeed, they do come out in the onside kick formation. Rackers sends it. It's a short one and easily corralled by Brett Killian at Denver's 34, and now this Denver defense will have to go to work.
Yeah, of all the receptions that Killian has had tonight, that might be the most important because it was able to secure the football again in Denver territory. So now, as you said, this Denver defense, their backs against the wall. They are going to have to come up with some sort of stop and really some sort of turnover if they want to have a chance at continuing to rebound in this game.
It's been a great night for Vancouver's offense. Over 400 yards in total offense. Both the run game has gone well, the passing attack has gone well, and now they can try and really put their stamp on this game as they give the ball off to Pravado.
Yeah, they definitely can right here. Not only can they eat a bunch of time if they so choose to, but they can also, as you said, extend that lead. A great job, masterful job on offense. You know, you go back to the drive at the end of the first half that put them up. And it's just really went on from there. That's when they really found their footing, and they just haven't taken their foot off the gas since.
And a fun fact, before the touchdown from Sudan Akai, the only backs for Vancouver that had a touchdown were both fullbacks. Both Pravado and Stern had combined a total of 3 rushing touchdowns before Nakai got his first. And now all that needs to happen is Redford to get his first touchdown of the season, and then every single back not only has a good decent amount of carries, but also will have all touchdowns.
Yeah, you know he would love that. I mean, it's not very often that you go 5 games into a season and Redford doesn't have a touchdown. But I think that speaks a lot to just how well this team has played as a unit in that, that halfback and fullback department. Everybody getting a turn and everybody having some sort of big play or a big game. And that's good news for Vancouver.
Redford with 151 rushing touchdowns in his career, second most SFL all-time. Now it's 3rd down. Vancouver need 4. They give it to Redford, and Mr. Robert Redford runs forward, and that's the first down that'll take us to the 2-minute warning soon.
It's kind of interesting, his role has certainly changed in this team, certainly called upon in big plays, and then, of course, they give it to those tough, pesky fullbacks in the short yardage situations, sometimes down there around the goal line, that would result in those getting those early touchdowns in the season.
2 minutes to go. Denver need a stop in the worst way to keep it a 2-score game. A first down pretty much seals it. This is SFL Football Week 6, Vancouver and Denver. And part of the game going on alongside ours, well, it's gotten out of hand, and it's gotten out of hand quickly. 42-6 at halftime. Houston in firm control on the road. As they go here for Vancouver, the run's a good one. 7 yards for Robert Redford. Denver called their first timeout, but if they give up another run like that, it's almost over.
Yeah, it definitely is. And boy, you talk about the scene over in Portland right now. Houston, 42 points. That right there. Houston's a tough team. There's no doubt about it. I think even though we expect them to have the upper hand, I don't know that any of us seen 42-6 coming, especially at halftime, not a final score even.
And you're at home. It's just unfortunately embarrassing as Redford gets the call, looking for their end zone and gets to near the 5-yard line. The tackle comes in, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah, Redford coming in hot now at the end of this game. We talked about, he's hungry. He wants a touchdown. He also wants to get, and more importantly, just every yard that he can get for his team to ensure the victory. And what they are doing, causing Denver to burn those timeouts, and it won't be long before they can start draining the clock here.
Denver need one final timeout. Only have one final timeout. Bravado through the middle, gets to about the 2-yard line before he's brought down. There's the final timeout for Denver as Vancouver are at the 2, and they can just run whatever they want here. They can try and rally up some more points, or they can try and kneel this out and drain this clock. Instead, they line up to try and run it again.
Yeah, expect maybe potentially a fullback run here, or Redford could get it in the backfield.
It was Stern in the last game. It's Stern again, and Stern has an easy lane created for him. Touchdown, Vancouver, and that's the final nail in Denver's coffin.
Thank you for that correction, Tyler. That's right. I wasn't able to see from that angle that it was Sawyer Stern. And again, I think that's why you talk about Redford being touchdownless, because of this new method here, the 2 fullback set that is working so well for them. A good job by Stern. Puts a nightcap on this game, really.
Second touchdown of the season for Sawyer Stern. Both fullbacks now with multiple touchdowns in season 22. Now chance to win. We'll try get this lead back out to 17. Snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. The Eternal Frost loving it back here at home in the Delta Dome. And they look to be like they're going to snap this 2-game losing skid and get back above 500. And just look at who scored tonight. Lockett, Killian, Nakai, Stern, Bravado. You talk about spreading the love and spreading the production. That in itself is exactly how you do it.
Game of the year so far for Vancouver, in my opinion. I mean, just complete dominance. It's the first time I feel like both sides of the ball has played equally as competitive.
And so Denver with no timeouts. They really have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it if they want to pull off a miracle. But right now it looks like Vancouver could come away with the win. Stranger things have happened in football. This could be one of them.
And, that's why they say that's the old classic quote, that's why they play the game. Anything can indeed happen, but they're going to have a lot of things go their way late in this one.
So here begins the long march down the field, as it would seem. Struthers under center. He will look to throw, looking over the left-hand side at the numbers and caught near the 40-yard line. That's Logan Keel. 1st and 10 now for Denver as they keep pushing down. Under a minute and a half to go here in the game. Struthers will look to pass again. Crossing pattern. It is nearly caught by Keel. Falls in and out of his hands. Incomplete.
Yeah, just a good hit that time. They really squared up there and popped that ball loose, stopping the clock for this second down play coming up.
And also coming up tomorrow night, the Monday Night Spectacular crew returns. Cameron Irvine, Charles Doherty back in the booth for DC and Canton. The SFL pregame show This week in the SFL kicks off about an hour before kickoff time, which will be around 7:15 Eastern. That's with Cameron Irvine and Mike O'Neill, who's done a great job so far this past weekend with SFL Game Day over on Twitch. And of course, halftime crew, myself and Chris Curtis will be in studio as well. Can't wait to see you there for DC and Canton. And that pass is overthrown and picked up by Mark Lopez, and that's the game.
Yep, have a day, Vancouver. You guys have had huge players all on every side of the ball, let's be honest there. And a nice job of Lopez, again, adjusting his body and picking that one up off the ground. Just a badly overthrown ball. Let me say real quick, talking about the Monday Night Spectacular, Tyler, you guys do a fantastic job. And there's nothing better than having a long day at work and getting to come home and turn on some SFL action. It really is the best.
Struthers had played so well up to that point. Finally breaks a streak of 10 games with only throwing 1 or no touchdowns in 10 consecutive games. Throws 2 tonight and unfortunately throws the game-sealing pick to Mark Lopez. Christian Brown takes 1 of 2 knees he will have to do to see us out tonight. But Vancouver will come away with victory number 3 as they look to keep pace with that dangerous Seattle Nemesis club, moving to 4-1 themselves. Now Vancouver still a game behind them in the Pacific Division, but they do what they needed to do tonight to come away with the victory.
Yeah, they certainly did, and that is important because, as we said, as you mentioned, Seattle is scary. We saw a lot of that last night, just how quick they can put points up on the board and how dangerous they can be. So, slow and steady wins the race at times, Tyler, and I think, you take these big quality victories here, continue to get stronger yourself. They're going to meet up down the way, and it's going to be interesting when they do.
Vancouver's next set of appointments, they end this little short 1-game homestand. They go on the road to face Fort Worth next week, and then are back home here on the Delta Dome to face current unbeaten Florida in Week 8. Night Wings, however, they are back on the road to continue this quick 2-game road trip to Indianapolis next week and are back home for Portland, Minnesota in the following weeks. There's your final score, 38-21, Vancouver Legion over the Denver Night Wings.
Yeah, just complete domination by Vancouver as this game progressed, and you can see right there, you take a look at the box score, the second quarter when they had the last drive just before halftime to go ahead, and they never looked back. 21 points in the fourth quarter as well to add a little bit of insult to injury, but a great job overall by Vancouver. Take a look at the time of possession. That's huge, 23 minutes to 16, almost 17 minutes for Denver. They just didn't have the sustainability that they needed to keep in check with Vancouver. And so as we take a look at all of those stats and see a great team effort on both sides of the ball, we saw interceptions mentioned by Lopez there. Let's talk about the big man there who had the sacks early on in this game, and then a little bit later
Bobo Caudell.
Yeah, Bobo Caudell and Papatonis, who had a big game. So many players to pick from. I got to go with my player of the game, though. I'm going to give it to Christian Brown because after some early interceptions, he came back and made some masterful throws. I'm giving it to him.
I like that, but I got to go Bobo Caudell. He came alive, especially late on the ball game with 2 sacks on 1 drive alone. That's going to do it. We'll see you tomorrow night for more SFL action and Monday Night Spectacular. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Cameron Duty. We'll see you then. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.